There's a theme when Team Trudeau answers question. Hi, welcome to Canada Wide. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There's 4 examples of how Trudeau and his team answer questions when they do answer. Because Chrystia Freeland will just talk whatever the hell she wants. She doesn't even listen to the question. Let's listen to the 4 examples that I'm going to give, and I'll talk about each one of them after. Let's have a listen.
Chair, Minister, you're a mom, I'm a mom, and recently in BC, protocols have been put in place to allow so-called safe supply of fentanyl to kids under 18 without parental consent or knowledge. My question is simple. Have you met with the Prime Minister to put a stop to this?
I think the more important question is to meet with the experts who are involved in the prescriber intervention models that you discussed, because they are truly the experts in this field, which is something that we have done. And like yourself, I am a mother. I say this as the Minister of Mental Health and Addictions, that it is my sole focus to save lives.
So the answer to the most basic human question that you can't answer is, the better question is to ask who the experts are. And I'll give a shout out. This is a special request too. The same thing with climate change too as well. The science is clear. Net zero by 2050. You know how many times they change that target, for example? I've never seen any science of that. Why don't they publish it in layman's terms? Why don't they put it out there? Why don't they have a debate on that? And that's what they never do. It's always some model hidden away. You're too ignorant to actually understand it. And science doesn't change. That's it. We need money. And shame on too that whatever that Hong Kong lady, I don't know what her name is, shame on her for that's how she answers it. Like, she's a mom too, and I'm a dad as well. Like, any human person would say that's wrong. I don't know who these people are, but they need to be held accountable. Let's listen to the next example of this way the Liberals answer questions.
Madam Chair, if I may, I don't agree with the premise.
No,
I don't agree with the premise. 79% of Canadians say that it is important for the country to have a public broadcast. Leger survey firm.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. If the argument is to try to say that we're no longer of value, all I would say is that's not what I hear from Canadians.
Saying that's not what I hear from Canadians at 79%. That's the one that saved her career on this. And it's the toughest question. I get it. But like every index, a KPI she has is tanking. But there's one index saying 79% want the CBC. And then you probably ask them, you want to pay for it? Oh, no. That's what it's going to be like. Look at these other surveys here. Canada ranks #1 in the world. Isn't that amazing? In 2023, Canada ranks 2nd best in the world. Like, what surveys are these exactly? And if you go into the survey, look here. This is open for business. Not corrupt, 100%. You're telling me in this survey, 100% is not corrupt. You have to wonder, who's paying for these surveys? Because this is what the Liberals use when they throw it out there all the time. A survey says that we're amazing and all this. Here's another one. Canada slides again in corruption index with Trudeau. Well, that's not a good survey. Here, Canada ranks 6th on the misery index. Inflation and unemployment. I'm sure it's just going down even worse than 2. And then when you talk about health care, with 1.3 million people coming in, I don't see them building more hospitals. I don't know about you, but the wait times are going up. And even if you have surgery, long wait times. And then you know what happens when you imagine, like, you need to wait for a surgery and you have to wait a year or 2 or whatever. Like, don't you think that, what about that survey? They never talk about that. The saved by a survey and the saved by a ranking are nearly the same type of thing, where there's some survey they pay for or some ranking that they select, which maybe they paid for, that is giving them something positive to say. Let's look at the 4th example here.
Taxes for the wealthiest 1%, lower them for the middle class, to support families, to start moving forward on gun control in real ways, while the Conservatives cozy up to the American gun lobbies. We've continued to step up and keep Canadians safe. Let them bring assault weapons back to our streets. We'll keep Canadians safe. Let them bring assault weapons back to our streets. We'll keep Canadians safe.
And that roar there was after the 3rd time or third time where Trudeau was mumbling, failing, horrible at answering any questions. And then he throws it out. You know what they're cheering for? To cut taxes for the wealthiest 1%. These SEALs don't even know what they're applauding for anymore. It was just a speech and a way to shut down conversation. And Randy, big shout out to Randy in Edmonton. He also does it. It's like the verbal diarrhea. You just go through and rehearse it and just say it and say it and say it. And that's what they're applauding, to cut the taxes for the wealthiest 1%. And they all stand up and cheer. And I don't understand. The weirdest thing is, it's the same data. It says right here, nearly 9% increase from firearm crimes in Canada. January, that's like yesterday. So it's up now from last year, from 2015, it probably went up a lot. And this is what Trudeau is saying. And he throws this, and to hear him at the end, let them bring in the assault style blanks. Like the conversation all shut down. And that's exactly what they do. And after this, Pierre said that good thing, like, wow, you're getting so excited. It's really bothering him. It's only bothering him because he didn't know what to say after the third question. And then after that, some French question comes up of some nobody that it just went nowhere anyway. So it's to kill the momentum and just throw everything out and run the clock out. And Randy's an expert at this. Also, I have a clip of him saying that COVID went down 9% in 2021. It's like, yeah, from COVID. Like, I don't get it. Like, they just keep throwing out stuff and no one's listening to it anyways. And shame on all of them for clapping too. I know they got they love their pension and their huge money and their expenses, but like, holy cow, they're on the wrong side, Anyway, thanks for watching. And there was one example I was going to use saying that they can't make a decision because it's in a board. And I guess there's 10 people on a board and they all vote yes. That was the other way they answer. They say that they can't answer because it's not their decision. They're the president, the CEO, or the big shot of the government business or the department, but they don't make decision. It's the ton of the people that agree on printing more money for their raises and select their KPIs, which are just made up anyways. And Trudeau throwing everything out there and accusing the conservatives of it reminds me of Sigmund Freud. Accuse the other side of which you are guilty. That, like, everything that Trudeau said in that rant, he does. And it's so obvious that he does it and he can't see it. It's going to be another proverb of some Greek mythology of the downfall of a leader that can't see his own clothes, or whichever one that is, but he can't see it. He just can't see the light. Anyways, thanks for watching. Best of goodbyes.